Come ride with me. It's time to saddle up.
Before it got too terribly hot, we decided to take a little ride on the trail. And this is one of the very, very nice logging roads that was cut, I guess, a long time ago up here. We're pretty much at the top of the ridge, so it levels out for a little bit. But very pretty, and it's not too terribly hot yet. I guess it's about 85, but I feel a little bit of a breeze. And Star is just plodding along. We're going away from the barn, so she's not super thrilled about that part of it, but we're not really working really hard. We're stopping every couple hundred yards and getting a bite of grass to eat, and then we're going to look at this little trail here and see what it does. This is somewhere we haven't been before. It goes up here. I'm surprised Star turned as easy that way. And I'm looking at a bunch of thorns, and I'm wearing shorts, and there's thorns. So we're not going to go this way, Star. My legs can't take that. They'll get stickered. But anyway, just a few minutes to enjoy the scenery, and we'll do a quick just turn around here and let you guys see everything. There's the trail behind us, and there's the mountains, and I think a trail. There's where we're gonna go. But bye for now. Bye for now, guys. And can't really see much here, but we did quite a climb, and we can see Star's breathing pretty hard. You can see her stomach going in and out there. But that's quite a hill, wasn't it, Star? Yep, not a fan. But anyway, we're resting here at the top. So we're at the top of the mountain, or thereabouts. Well, I guess it's a mountain. I think it's a mountain, Star. Felt like a mountain to Star. But one of the things I like to do when we get somewhere is to take a few minutes and just enjoy the scenery, and to enjoy being able to catch our breath, although Star's the one that was out of breath. She's doing a lot better now. She's had about 5 minutes or 10 minutes now of just doing what she's doing there, kind of walking and munching. I think it's about 85 to 90 degrees already. Got lots of trails up here, just all over the place. Of course, I'm wearing shorts today, and my hat, and I don't know if you can see because I can't see, but anyway, just lots of things to take in. Beautiful horse, beautiful scenery, and lots of trails. I'm still on the ground walking, and we're going to head down this trail path here, just with me on foot. Right through here, it's not real steep. It kind of, as it gets near the peak of the mountain area, it kind of levels off. But here in a little bit, it gets really steep and really rocky and kind of slippery. You see a lot of washout, like the ground here. You can see where we're walking a lot of little trenches and stuff. And one of Star's responsibilities as the horse, one of hers is to watch where she's going, watch where she's putting her feet. I mean, she has 4 of them, and I don't even think humans can figure out where to put 4 feet. We do well enough just with 2. So she's learning some of this, where to put her feet through this obstacle course of washed out little ditches. And like right here, it's not very steep, but it's going to get really steep here in just a little bit. And as I kind of look down the trail here, I can see it starting to drop off, and it will continue to get steeper and steeper. And I'm going to attempt to walk down it. It's a little slippery for me, and I'm wearing my paddock boots. They got pretty good traction. You can see the loose dirt and stuff. And actually I'm getting in Star's way just a little bit by me picking my path through here. And she's doing the same. I think it's important to let your horse have a loose rein when the terrain is like this. That way they're only having to deal with one obstacle. There's another little trailhead that goes down that way. We're not going to go that way though, because we don't know where it goes. And we're out solo today. So when you're solo trail riding, probably not the best idea to get lost. And we don't have our saddlebags, as you can see there. So we don't have our water with us. So we're doing a limited run, just exploring some new trails. And it's so freaking kind of already starting to get steep and starting to challenge me to be able to talk and figure out where I'm stepping without falling down is getting a little tricky. I don't think from the camera it looks that steep. Oh, and there's another little trail. It looks like the gators been down that way. We'll have to try that one out on a different day. And then, of course, right here, looks like the trail gets closer back to being more level. So we'll call it quits for this part of the video, and we'll pick back up later. Again, we're continuing to head down this rocky trail, and we got a really nice breeze coming up the side of the mountain, and the trail just drops off and gets really steep up ahead. So I'm not on Star's back. There's an empty saddle up there. I'm just leading her, and I'm making sure that I don't have the reins looped around my hand in case I fall. They're kind of just in my hand coiled. They're not around my hand. And it's really kind of rocky, the terrain. And it gets really steep right through here. And really have to watch where you put your foot, because it's a lot of loose stuff. Star is really good without me up on her back. And like right here with as much rock as we have, she has to get over that. And she's pretty good at it. A lot of horses would slip and slide and try and fall. I'm finding myself having to bend more at the knee and lean back myself, because we have this rocky kind of hard packed, whatever that is, slate I guess. And you can see Star, she just takes little baby steps, and we've got like a little area there. She's going to avoid that. And we've got these big washed out trenches, and this is where these big trenches, when we were coming up, I was just letting her pick her way up here. What I try and make sure to do is not try and micromanage and decide where she puts her feet, because if I did that, she would potentially step and fall in one of these things here and hurt her or hurt me as she fell. Going uphill, of course, it's not as bad a fall. She would just go to her knees, but then you'd end up with horse with scraped knees and possibly chest and all that good stuff. So we don't want the horse to get hurt. Star's a trooper and a veteran at this sort of thing. So, I mean, all this loose rocks here, she's doing fine with. But a lot of horses, they just don't know to slow down, be super uber careful, really get their weight down in that hind end. Star's hind end really does a lot of work on these downhills. She keeps it well under her. And we could ride down this because she's a trooper. But the important thing, going downhill, if you're fighting with your horse to keep them slow with a tight rein, they're going to have at least an extra problem, if not two or three, as you shift their balance off and you make them, oh, she just slept there. So we kind of look right here. Right here is where her foot was, and she picked a bad spot, and then there she caught herself. So good horses know how to recover, but I would have felt that if I was in the saddle. It would have been like a bump. And now she's slipping a lot on these loose rocks here, but she really doesn't have a choice. And we'll call it quits for here. Okay, we're still heading down on the hill, and avoiding these big gullies and stuff as we get down the hill. And you can see Star's doing the same thing. She cuts right between them, and we're almost back down to level ground. She's well rested now that we've been walking for a ways. That was quite an uphill, so no more breathing hard. And she is just picking her way right down the center of that washed out area, very gingerly picking where she puts her feet. And we've got a little bit of a breeze, a lot of Queen's Anne lace. We just came across a wild turkey that fortunately didn't fly up right in front of us, kind of ran away from us on the ground about 20 yards and then took to flight. Sometimes those turkeys like to fly towards you. I don't know what's up with that. But first wild turkey we've seen at this place. We've seen a couple hawks and a lot of turkey buzzards here and there, and a whole lot of deer tracks. And as we get back down to actually the top of the ridge where we normally ride, there's our horse trailer, which we park it way up here. Okay, up here by the horse trailers and in this big open area, there's some gravel. I'm guessing that's going to be a parking lot of sorts here, because it is level. I don't know what it's going to be. Who knows? But this is the area where we want to set up the archery run. What we thought we'd start. Your head's in the way. Come on. What we want to do is have some archery targets set up somewhere here. We got to figure out a good backdrop. I'm thinking archery targets would be really good pointing toward where this gravel lot, so we'd be able to start from down here on the right and come up the rise, and then when we hit the level ground we could shoot arrows into this ground here, and that way we wouldn't have any trouble finding our arrows. And we could leave our archery targets set up right along this line here, and I don't think it would be in the way of anything. And there's just so much area and space up here, and we'd be able to go over to where that big container is and have some shade, and possibly let the horses graze or hobble them and take a picnic lunch, let them eat in this big field while we just chill out. But we're up near the top of everything here, even though it doesn't look like it. Just a few thoughts. Well, to the view, it was this. So it's amazing up here, and it was incredible. I'm actually in a saddle today, so no issue with that canter there at all. You can see down the hill to the right, hopefully, there it is, the round pin. And we're not going to go straight down this hill because it's just too freaking steep. But well, it's not too steep, but it's really steep, and Star's been working hard today. So you can kind of see from up top where it's cleared off some of the paddocks of Flathead Farms, and then that furniture plant, I think. And she's worn my core muscles out. And you can see like a super steep way to get down to the barn area. That going that way, we're not going to do that. And just a view. Enjoy. Okay, we are heading back to the barn, or really close to the barn. We're actually at the barn area. And something I think you should do on hot days for your horse is let them get some water if they're not breathing too hard. If they're breathing real hard, you want to let them cool down a little bit. Not cool down, but at least catch their breath before you head them up to the water. Star's been going downhill for a while at a walk for the last 10-15 minutes. So we're going to go in here and we're going to check and see if there's any water. And it's a little low there, but you know what? She can reach it. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But if you know a little bit, you might can tell when they're thirsty. And yeah, she's drinking a lot here. but she wasn't breathing hard. She's hot, but she definitely is, well, she's taking a lot of water in. But anyway, let your horse drink. That's all.